It is believed the goddess Kali protects this place. At dawn, a ritual offering invokes her name. Deliver me across this ocean of suffering, O Kali. Destroy my sorrows. It is the shipbreaker's prayer. This is Alang, on India's Bay of Cambay. A place where ships come to die, and men die with them. They come from all over India, from impoverished towns and villages where there is no work, little hope.
My name is Narayan Chand, but everyone calls me Mitu. I come from a poor village. My parents live in sheer poverty and hunger.
मैं जब जाएगा गांव से जब निकल जाएगा 2 घंटे का बाद मेरा घर बता देने का.
When I decided to come, I told my friend, don't tell my parents until I'm on the train. When my parents found out, they cried, you should have studied, learned something. What is there in Alang? I told them I'll send whatever money is left after I have paid for my own basic necessities.
Nothing could have prepared Mitu for what he was about to see. Hundreds of the world's largest ships beached like great whales on the shore. This is the biggest ship graveyard in the world. On 10 kilometers of oily sand, 40,000 men tear apart half the world's discarded ships with their bare hands. It is one of the biggest recycling operations anywhere. It is also an environmental disaster. For the men who break the ships, the paradox is clear. The job that might kill them is their only hope of survival.
When I came here, I saw a huge piece of iron sink into the sea. I wonder how a big ship floats.
Alang control, Velma, come in please.
Velma, Alang control.
High tide on the Arabian Sea.
Alang control, Velma, I cannot hear you on channel 13, over.
Optimum conditions for the first step of shipbreaking. A beaching.
250.
Roger, course to 250, okay.
7.7 knots, sir.
And still increasing, right?
Yes, still increasing, coming up now.
Okay.
Right now 8 knots now.
For a sailor, the most unnatural thing in the world is to beach a ship. 9,000 tons of steel, plowing at full speed, straight for shore.
How much can we go up ahead now? Oh, we got about 2 miles still to go. Now we're just doing about 11.
290.
Roger, 290.
It's a tense operation, guided only by the human eye and simple compass directions.
How much now?
Speed?
10.9 knots.
Okay, make 295.
Roger, 295.
This is the journey every captain dreads.
It is my ship, but now it's going to the graveyard, you know.
The Brazilian chemical tanker Velma approaches her final destination after 30 years at sea.
We are just getting the engine RPM to maneuvering speed, and captain has already given us a standby.
Over the years, the Velma has been home for hundreds of sailors, and it's an emotional farewell. The night before, her engine ceased, as though she knew the end was near.
You develop a kind of human attachment almost, you know. Sometimes when my machines don't work, I literally talk to them and I tell them just one last time.
Now I know I'm taking her on her last journey, you know. I'm taking her in. And I look at it from the point of view like person who's giving off his organs, you know, I mean after a death or something, after, you know, when he's given the permission and then a part of him lives, you know, in someone else, you know. So we believe it's an Indian philosophy of rebirth, you know, karma. Roger, 312, sir. 312. Hard port. Yes, sir, hard port now.
With its keel scraping bottom, the tanker drives hard towards the narrow lot, a few feet from the workers on shore. Captain Magicar has made a perfect beaching.
Bada Sahab, we are beach, fantastic. We're mostly right on the beach nearly. Okay, but we keep the engines ahead, but I've still got to let go the anchors. Okay.
Now this once proud vessel has become scrap. Today, Alang is well known, even infamous. But 2 decades ago, it was a pristine shore that few people had heard of.
First time I'd have come to Alang, we came to the lighthouse. And we must have walked 5 kilometers along this whole beach, just to meet one fisherman.
Asif Khan was one of the founders of Alang.
We had the first ship here in about June of 1983. And well, she came here just at the lighthouse because there was only the lighthouse. There was an open beach with the lighthouse. So she came opposite Alang Light. And that's where literally then we had to put the plots in, that we had to start with plot number 1 right in front of the lighthouse.
There are 183 plots today. 30 years ago, shipbreaking was done from dry docks in Canada, the United States, and Europe before labor costs and environmental regulations shut it down. In the 1980s, Indian entrepreneurs seized the opportunity. They didn't need expensive docks, just a beach that they could drag the ships onto. Alang was perfect. The high tides would carry even supertankers on shore and wedge them in the sand.
मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि अलंग शिप ब्रेकिंग यार्ड विश्व में सबसे ज़्यादा एलडीटी के मुताबिक सबसे ज़्यादा कटिंग करने वाला ये शिप ब्रेकिंग यार्ड और गुजरात में जो वो भी भावनगर ज़िले में जितना मुनाफा इनको मिलता है, यहाँ जो प्रॉब्लम है अलंग शिप ब्रेकिंग यार्ड में वो एनवायरनमेंट की है और दूसरी लेबर की है.
Some call it India's gold rush, and migrant workers just keep coming, lured by a few dollars a day.
People like Meeti would come here basically for the community moving here, and this is a good earning wage compared to where he's from, where there is absolutely no work in a way. So this is a work that's accepted there, and they look forward to come here because it's a prestigious job to be in Alang.
The first day I came to the shipyard, I asked for work. A man told me to separate the iron pieces and the non-iron pieces with the help of a magnet. I'm just thinking, the ship will feed so many people. At least 500 people will earn a living while the ship is broken down.
It can take 6 months for a ship to literally disappear, hauled away by hand, bit by bit. Steel cables pull the vessel higher on shore. If a cable snaps, it can cut a man in half. On this beach, the temperature rises to almost 50 degrees Celsius. There are fires of 1,000 torches and fumes from burning steel. Shipbreaking is a $1 billion a year industry, and everyone wants a cut. Western companies don't pay to dispose of their ships cleanly. Instead, they sell them for scrap. The Indian buyers make a profit by reselling the steel with very few costs. No benefits for their workers, no social safety net.
Ganpati Bappa, Moria. This is Lord Ganesh. This is our deity. I place it on my ship, and then I pray to the idol that you please guide my ship and take it to a safe destination. Right now that I have brought her to the safe destination, this is my last prayer to this deity, and that's the end of my journey.
The Velma waits to be broken. Her electricity has been cut. Her lifeline is gone. After a voyage of 30 years, she seems frozen in time, as though her crew just vanished, leaving everything behind.
You feel bad, but there's a stage in everybody's life where you have to, it's called the end. So it's the end for her. What's that?
Woman cycle, dust to dust.
Yeah. Steel to steel, dust to dust.
It's not in your blood to beach a vessel, you know. But then you realize ultimately that what's necessary has to be done, you see. This vessel has served its useful purpose, and the steel will get cut and perhaps go into the making of another vessel, which will again start the whole cycle, virtually the cycle of life all over again.
This tanker is the size of an apartment block. 10 stories high. Challenging the men who will break it down.
पहली बार देखा तो एकदम मजबूरी में आया था, तो देख के भी डर लगता था। जहाज आधा कटा हुआ था, तो देख के तो डर लगता था, पर मजबूरी भी कुछ कि काम करना ही पड़ा।
Patil and his crew are gas cutters, the elite of shipbreaking. They are the first men to torch up inside the ship after the fuel lines are supposed to be cleared.
कोई कुछ कहता नहीं, कोई मुकदम नहीं मास्टर, कोई कुछ नहीं, सब अपने अपने मन से करना पड़ता है। इनका कहना खाली ऐसा करो, ये झड़प हमको चाहिए, बस जैसा भी बड़ा छोटा लेना तो अपने हिसाब से काटना पड़ता है।
My senior cutters do have a very good knowledge of the ship itself. He's numero uno in a way of the whole organization, that he knows exactly how a ship is built. He's not had any course in naval architecture, nor has he had any engineering course, but this is a tradition he has learned from observation.
Asif Khan was one of the only shipyard owners who would talk to us, one of the few regarded as a good boss.
We're doing the worst possible thing you can do to a ship. We're not painting it, we're not repairing it, we're actually breaking it.
हर एक बत्ती वाले का ही काम, कोई भी ऊपर का बत्ती वाला रहेगा वो काटे।
It's a 40-foot drop, and there is danger everywhere. No plans to indicate which section to cut or how they will fall.
सब अपने अपने दिमाग से।
Deadly vapors can be trapped behind the steel. Gas cutters literally follow their noses, knowing each cut could set off an explosion. In India, this is the age of Kali Yuga, the age of iron, the age of darkness. Each day in Alang, there are rituals and prayers for the shipbreakers at the Hindu shrine of Kali Ma. She is their spiritual protector. Goddess of both birth and destruction, she is an awesome force.
हाँ, वो भी माँ है, वो जगत जननी है, वो जगत की पालन करती है।
Like Alang itself, Kali Ma is a paradox. The man-eating destroyer, who is also the giver of life.
I have 6 brothers. I'm the youngest. One of my brothers died here. We are forced to do this work. We are poor people. What choices do we have?
as certain as the tides that bring these ships to Alang. It is the cycle of death and rebirth that forms the rhythm here.
इसकी जो अकोमोडेशन है, अकोमोडेशन में लकड़ा भी होता है, कपड़ा भी होता है, घरेलू यूज के बर्तन भी होते हैं, और भी सामान है, लॉन्ड्री का सामान है, वो सभी को निकाल के
The men work on top and the women are down. By rope they lower them and they bring them to the plot and load them in the tractors. And whichever dealer has bought it, it goes to his plot. The women's job is only to carry this from the ship. So instead of working about 10 hours in the field, in the heat, and this is an easier job. So the women take this. Pay is not so good. It's 40 rupees per woman, 50 rupees per gent.
Once known as the Gypsum King, this Canadian-built ship offers up Western riches for a new market.
There are no indigenous steel manufacturing plant in this part of India. So this is God-given gift to this region of our country, and we can produce millions of tons of steel. More than 300 ships are being scrapped every year. So that would be more than 50% of the total ships being scrapped all over the world.
This shipyard generates nearly 3 million tons of recycled steel each year. And with it, thousands more jobs are created in downstream industries.
When we first came here, I think adjoining villages, they would have owned maybe 10 trucks within 10 kilometers of here. Today we'd have 1,000 trucks and they all get employment. That's a very good source of income for them.
This is plot number 111. I deal with these boats. These are known as luxury liners. And they have all the facilities in there with microphones and steering wheels. And we get them from the ship breaking yard. These are the engines. But we depend on the ships. The more the ships come in, the more profit we have over here.
So many items are being resold for reuse. numerous. There are n numbers of items.
Main Street, Alang. They say you can find anything here, and every kind of person. Like any boomtown, it's become a magnet for the hopeful and a refuge for the dispossessed. Abandoned children, orphans.
पूर्वा के बारे में पूर्वा इधर घूमते हुए आया उस समय वो भूखा प्यासा था खाना पीना नहीं खाया था तो जानकारी ऐसे ऐसे हुआ कि ऐसे ऐसे हालात इसके साथ हो गए हैं तो सेठ को इस बात पर दया आई उन्होंने कहा भाई कि अगर बच्चा है किसी का भी बच्चा हो बच्चा मतलब वो होता है
Sangam's father was a shipbreaker who started drinking and disappeared. Then his mother died.
12 बजे रात को उसको सांप काट लिया फिर वो ले गए भावनगर नहीं ठीक हुआ
एक काम करो अभी जब फ्री हो जाएगा तो बाटल वाला पानी भर कर रख देगा
सेठ मेरा अपना दुकान के नहीं पैसा नहीं मिलते खाली खाना देते हैं और कपड़ा
Sangam's dream is to be with his little brother, who works and sleeps in a shanty down the road.
मिस्त्री कितना चाहिए और बोलो भाई हाँ ठीक है और भाई ना कुछ पानी वानी खाओ ना कुछ नहीं
कुछ भी जानेगा तो गांव का अंदर देखो बाउड का अंदर जैसे रहता है
The people in my village think that they have seen the whole world. But if they leave the village, they will realize that the world is so big.
From Alang to the nearest city, Bhavnagar, is a journey of 50 kilometers. Along the way, there are signs of prosperity, even in this place parched from drought. Far from the shipyards, the money generated by Alang is a lifeline that feeds 1 million mouths.
There are many downstream industries, especially steel re-rolling mill, oxygen plants, steel plants, scrap yards. It has brought wealth to this area. Not only Alang people, but the people all of the full area. They have uplifted themselves due to Alang.
Industrial revolution has come to the state of Gujarat, courtesy of Alang. For centuries, this area existed on agriculture. Now, farm boys feed a different beast.
You need to study the full process that actually what is happening over here. We can see other countries of the world which are creating more problems than what we are doing here. And we are not doing anything which is harming to any extent to the environment or to any other countries.
The harm is more insidious. A blasting furnace melts chunks of metal at 1300 degrees Celsius. The air is acrid. The fumes fill the lungs. For every worker killed in shipyard accidents, many more will die of this, breathing the carbon fumes in these steel mills.
If Alang is affected to any extent in any manner, then there will be a collapse in the downstream industry. They cannot survive.
The survival of these men is in peril too. It is estimated 1 in 4 will get cancer. O Kali, even at death, you make the journey with us. You dwell on the fierce cremation ground. Your fire consumes us. The state of Gujarat is the birthplace of Mahatma Gandhi. Yet today it is less a symbol of peace than a rallying cry for reform. The shipyards are a toxic wasteland. Reports of their horrors draw international attention that threatens to shut down the industry. The ships being scrapped today were built in the 1970s, before asbestos and PCBs were banned. Heavy metals were used in their paints. Some carried radioactive material. These substances are released with every cut. The sand, the dust, the air are full of it. Countries like Canada have banned the export of toxins under an international treaty called the Basel Accord. But the murky sail of old ships slipped under the radar until 1998, when 2 journalists won a Pulitzer Prize for exposing it. Then Greenpeace scientists released a shocking report.
We found extremely high levels of all kinds of toxics. If we would find these toxics in the West, it would require cleanup of the sediment. An average ship can easily have 20 tons of asbestos on board the ship. 600 ships a year. That would make 12 million kilo of asbestos being put on the beaches. You don't need 1 kilo to get a damaging effect on your health. That's the thing with toxic waste, with hazardous waste. In very minimum amounts, they can have devastating effects to the health of people.
Ship recycling is eco-friendly. Only question is arising, what had happened? In old time, asbestos was never considered as hazardous, permitted to use. PCB was permitted to use. Heavy metal was permitted to use. Nobody say you don't use it. But due to change of the environmental system and the thinking of the people, the things which were never considered hazardous in past is considered today hazardous. Now the question is, it is existing in the ship. So somebody has to handle it. Whether we handle it or somebody else handle it. So there is no choice of it. Only way is a question is how to better handle it.
Nagar Sates Association is faced with a dilemma. If India enforces environmental laws, third world competitors who don't will take the business away. And how can the West enforce such double standards when shipbreaking was deemed too hazardous and expensive to do there in the first place?
तो एक बाद में रहता है, मगर लंबे अरसे तक जो ये काम करते रहे हम, तो वहाँ जहरीले गैस है, ये सब होने से हवामान का प्रदूषित वातावरण के लिए वातावरण के अनुसार हमारे बदन में फेफड़े सड़ जाएंगे, ये सब तो है ही, और आँखों में भी नुकसान होते हैं।
Pneumoconiosis is a lung disease which happens in most industrial sector areas where there are lots of fumes, gases which is being inhaled constantly. It is like smoking 10 to 15 packs of cigarette a day all the time.
The shipyard owners pay this doctor. His advice to the workers? Work upwind.
While doing the gas cutting, he should remain in the opposite direction to the wind. Wind should just go away because there is lot of breeze on the seaside. It will definitely harm less to him.
Alang has become a metaphor in the struggle between the third world and the first, between the poor and the rich. In boardrooms far away, solutions are pondered. Can shipbreaking become clean? Who will pay? In this battle, time is an enemy. If shipbreaking became eco-friendly today, it would take decades for this environment to recover. The shipyard siren marks the end of another grueling day. Mitu's uncle has worked in Alang for 20 years. His sight is almost gone. His feet are badly burned. Mitu helps take care of him in the hut they've built of ship parts in the workers' shanty town across the road from the beach. There's no running water here, no latrine, just shacks built on a site that oozes contaminants from the beach. Cholera, polio, leprosy. Old diseases meet modern ones, like AIDS.
My uncle has become ill. He has a high fever. A lot of people here are sick. My brother died of a fever. My parents are very worried about me.
Another orphan has found refuge on Main Street.
मेरा नाम संतोष है, संतोष गौड़। चाय की दुकान है। मेरा अपना मम्मी के साथ 3-4 साल हो गया।
अभी तुम्हारा उम्र कितना है?
मालूम नहीं।
This is Sangam's little brother, the boy whose mother was bitten by a snake.
मेरा माँ नहीं है, 1.5 साल हो गया।
Santosh dreams of becoming a gas cutter someday.
चाहे मुकादम हो, चाहे कंटकिया हो, चाहे सेठ हो, सब गरीब का गला दबाने वाले हैं। की बात जरूर है। पेट तो जो न कराते।
यहाँ कोई सुविधा है कि वो ले आकर रखेंगे?
हम लोग 10-12 आदमी हैं। खाना पीना बनाकर खाते हैं हम।
To Western eyes, this is a slum. But people come because there is work, money, and a chance for a better life.
लेकिन माँ बाप और मैं
I come from the soil of my village.
इसलिए उसको ऊपर रखना पड़ता। मैं शादी करने को दिल नहीं करता।
I miss my family, my mother the most.
तू मेरा पीछे आ जाएगा ना, वो बोलेगा मेरे को खाना खिलाना पड़ेगा।
I do not want to marry. That would be too much tension. I would have to earn more to feed another person. I do not earn enough. All that is a matter up to fate. It's all in God's hands.
Some put their faith in God. Some find solace in other places, like the local bootleggers.
After working every day, I must have mine. For my tiredness and my fitness. To get rid of both of them. To get rid of them. I come here every day. अपना मंगलवार को पिएगा जो આપણે જે પ્રમાણિત કરીએ ને એ પ્રમાણે થવું જોઈએ.
कोई श्रमिक सुबह काम करने के लिए चलता है तो उसको 100% वो नहीं कह सकता तो शाम को इसी खोली में फिर से एवरीडे वन शिफ्ट एवरीडे वन डे। इसीलिए यहाँ कितनी देर होती है वो हम रियल फैक्ट में नहीं बता सकते, लेकिन कहा जाता है कि हर साल में कम से कम 300 लेबरर्स की डेथ अलंग शिप ब्रेकिंग यार्ड में देखी जाती है।
At the shipyards of Alang, nothing ever stays the same. It's a movable work site. entrance and exit are different every day. Inside, in the darkness, it is impossible to know what iron chunk may fall or what staging area is safe.
As far as the world over is concerned, it's one of the most dangerous place as far as workplace or other stuff is concerned. We want to eradicate that image totally. Most important is the death rate should become 0. Then we could feel, okay, we achieved something.
There's no hospital in Alang. The closest one is an hour away. No one really keeps records, but it's estimated that 8 in 10 men have been injured working here. Their bones crushed by steel plates, or fractured from falls. Some are blinded by torch sparks. Others are burned.
मेरे खुद के साथ भी हुआ है। मैं नया बत्ती लिया था जहाज के ऊपर, तो मतलब नहीं ध्यान में रहा, तो हवलदार काट दिया उसी झड़प पे बैठ के, जैसा शेख चिल्ली ने किया था ऐसे ही। तो झड़प के साथ मैं बॉटम तक गया था, तो थोड़ा पैर में चोट लगा था, 2-3 दिन तकलीफ हुआ था, और उसके बाद ठीक। तब से कोई मेरे साथ तो नहीं हुआ।
The Red Cross Clinic in Alang takes the simplest cases. Doctors travel here 1 day a week.
The clinic was initially started here in the Alang. It was having only a facility to see patients in the outdoor department. There was no indoor facility. Since 4 years, it has started indoor facility, and since then we are coming here every week.
कितने साल से काम कर रहे हैं आप?
हो गया 4-5 साल।
अभी कैसे एक्सीडेंट हो गया आपका?
प्लेट गिरावे में मिस्टेक हो गया।
एक प्लेट दूसरी प्लेट पर गिरी, वो प्लेट से जग गया। स्टडी पहनने प्रोटेक्ट।
All the laborers are very far away from their family, so they are very depressed, they are very stressed. While in Alang, most of the time the peoples are scarcity of love, scarcity of caring, and scarcity of money. So these 3 factors, they are crucial in treating patients at this particular space.
There is no union in Alang. Some workers have tried to organize one, but most are too afraid.
मान लीजिए मार चोट लग गया, हाथ पैर टूट गया, दवाई ले खाली पैसा नहीं मिलता है।
दवाई का भी पैसा नहीं मिलता है।
यहाँ पे दवा का दे देते हैं तो दे देते हैं, नहीं तो वो भी नहीं कराते हैं। छोटा मोटा कटा होगा तो वो भी नहीं देते हैं, अपने पास से लगा के कर देना पड़ता है दवा का पैसा। मजबूरी पे आदमी अपने पास से कराता ही है।
In the end, it's always about money. The shipyard owners say they are hurting. The shifting price of steel and currency exchange can cut profits fast. Competition from other poor countries has raised the price of these ships, and the interest on the loans they take to buy them can be crippling. So the untrained workers are pushed to work harder, faster.
सेफ्टी के लिए कुछ ध्यान रख के काम करने का। सामने वाला अगर गलत कर रहा है तो उसको बताने का कि भाई ये काम गलत हो रहा है, इसको इस तरह करो, अगर अपने नज़र में आया तो। ऐसा कोई एक आदमी अगर चिल्लाता है तो बोलता है वो बहुत टाइम से चिल्ला रहा है, चिल्लाने दो तब तक तो मैं निकल जाऊंगा। ऐसा बहुत बार होता है।
कंटेक्ट वाले अपने कमाने के चक्कर में यही वजह है। और सुरक्षा का क्या है, बस हेलमेट मिल गया, बत्ती वालों को चश्मा मिल गया, उसके बाद मुकादम घाहीबाजी में आदमी लोग को लगा देते हैं, काटो पाटो जल्दी जल्दी में, इसलिए दुर्घटना हो जाती है। और बाकी क्या है, वो जैसे डाकू पे जाइए तो वहाँ तब लाइन लगाइए, तब तो आपका पैसा लगेगा 3 पूरा साढ़ा मार के।
और मुकादम थे छोटे लाल, वो बोला कि हाली हाली खींचो, तो गोली बोला गया, उसी पर पराई लगाया गया, उसका पराई खाली पड़ गया और नीचे चला आया मुकादम के उकताने से। वो वार चढ़ाते समय उसके पराई झूठा पड़ गया, नीचे बाटम में चला आया और फिर उसको निकाला गया कचड़े में से और फिर मारुति में लेकर भागा गया। तो बोलते हैं कि नहीं ऐसे ऐसे तुम कहने का।
सबसे डेंजर ऐसा तो पूरा जहाज ही डेंजर है, जहाज का काम ही डेंजर है वैसा देखा जाए तो। वैसे सबसे ज़्यादा डेंजर तो फिर तेल का टाकी हुआ, पाइपलाइन हुआ, यही काम में ज़्यादा डेंजर। CO2 बाटला गिटला सब खोलने खालने का काम होता है, वो भी डेंजर ही है।
Work has just begun on a tanker called Inville when a gas cutter's spark hits an uncleared gas line.
तो वहाँ से 2 आदमी आ गए मेरे को बुलाने, कि वो बोला कि तुम्हारा गाँव वाला एक 5 नंबर में काम करता था, वो वहाँ कुछ अंगार लगा था तो जल गया। तो फिर मैं वहाँ पे गया तो वहाँ पे बहुत भीड़ था, अंदर तो किसी को जाने नहीं दिया वो लोग। तो बोला कि आदमी को दवाखाने में ले गए। तो मैं दवाखाने में जाके देखा तो वहाँ पे उसका लाश एकदम विकृत हालत में हुआ था, पहचानने लायक नहीं था, पर उसका दांत पर से पहचान में आया था ये अपना आदमी है।
5 नंबर में 6 आदमी मर गए थे और कुछ 5 लोगों को ज़्यादा जख्मी हुए थे। उसको भावनगर हॉस्पिटल में दाखिल भर्ती किया था, तो उसका बाद में पता नहीं है कि इसका क्या हुआ है।
जैसा अपने हिसाब से जो हुआ वो कर दिया, मतलब लेबर से पैसा जमा करके उनके बाल बच्चे को दे दिया। इतना कर, जितना अपने से हुआ उतना किया।
6 men were killed in the tanker Inville. But officials barred access to the shipyard. There was no sign of the wounded at the hospital in Bhavnagar. It was as though nothing had happened. Just rumors.
I have seen it all being done. I have seen people getting drowned. And their body goes in the sea. Who's bothered? Nobody. There were certain people who are brought out in pieces. So then they make out by their shirts. Then we know.
I will not give up my life for my employer. I feel guilty working, not studying. I don't know what happened to me. I got caught here. My parents have already lost one son to Alang. When I telephone them, they ask me about my health. They ask me to return, but I refused.
Days after the Inville explosion, an American-Norwegian consortium pledged to deliver clean ships to prevent future accidents.
Very good.
There is no stopping the international scrutiny that now comes with toxic ships.
Steady as she goes.
Steady as you go.
And this one's a real prize.
The name is Tulip. The LDT is around 8,000 tons.
The Tulip is really a Norwegian ship called the Gerd. Greenpeace put her on their most toxic list before she disappeared. She was sold to Libya, then resold several times. She flies a bogus flag. The ocean is full of ships like her, phantom ships, whose first world owners claim no responsibility.
10.3, thank you.
You can't allow the ship owners to run away. They has to brought to the regulation, and that should be the system. What we are now asking in the world scenario, when you are talking for the regulation for the world ship recycling, you have to make a regulation for the ship owners also. You cannot be one-sided, one game.
307.
In the coming years, the number of ships to be broken will double.
307. Very good, Captain. Thank you.
Yet export of toxic waste is against international law.
Slow हो गया क्या? 310. 310.
We see that the world deals with double standards. Western countries are happy to send, let's say, the toxic waste to poor countries, but at the same time don't want these toxic waste in their own countries, because they want to protect their people and the environment, which is good. But they should not, and I think we cannot allow this double standard to exist for longer.
Now give your maximum.
Disposing of the world's toxic ships should be considered a service to the world.
You looked at the form.
It should not be the shipbreakers who pay the price.
Hard starboard. Let go anchor. Let go anchor quickly, Captain. Captain, thank you once again. Excellent job, and I wish you a very good vacation.
Okay, thank you very much for your kind cooperation.
जो बनाया होगा वो बेचारा कितना मेहनत से बनाया होगा। जब इसका भी कुछ पानी में चलने का तारीख है, बोलते हैं कि इतना ही वर्ष साल मतलब ये पानी में चल सकता है, पर जब उसको काटने भी लगते हैं तो पहले ही बोलते हैं कि कसाई घाट में आ गया बेचारा इतना अच्छा जहाज।
इसी की तरह वो एक चला जा रहा है समय, कलयुग एकदम कैसे है इसी तरह, तो वो जा रहा है, उसके साथ सब ऐसा ही जाता रहेगा। उसके बाद आ सकता है कुछ अच्छे से दिन।
यहाँ का काम ही ऐसा है, घड़ीक में क्या होगा। जो डरता है वो यहाँ रुक ही नहीं पाता है अलंग। वैसे आदमी का मौत जहाँ होगा वहाँ तो होना ही है।
O Kali, your sword annihilates demons. It makes the ocean roar. Your darkness is the beauty. Our birth and death are yours.
चाय का दुकान खोलेगा, चाय का दुकान।
डर लगने जैसा कुछ नहीं है ना। ये हम लोग तो बस कफन बांध के यहाँ पे काम करना है। यहाँ का काम करना है कि औरत को बोलना, अगर अपना औरत है कि मैं अभी सुबह ड्यूटी पे जा रहा हूँ, तब तक तुम वो माथे की बिंदी बोलते हैं अपने यहाँ, माथे की बिंदी लगाना नहीं, मैं शाम को घर पे आऊँगा तो लगा लेना। गिलास भरना काय खाल्लं
I don't want to be here forever. I would love to travel and see the world. I would love to sail away. For now, the sight of the ships fills my heart with happiness. It's dharma. The ship dies so we can survive.
Okay, Captain, let go the anchor.